Hey. Welcome to episode 17 and Road to PvM God, everybody. I did spend a lot of time in this episode, as you can probably guess from the Tecton footage, doing some raids. Mostly solo raids. We did do some team raids, but I was kind of practicing solos, not because I planned on immediately getting into a bunch of solos, but I was getting a little burnt from Vorkath, down to just a couple uniques to go, and honestly was ready to just move on to a different moneymaker for a little bit. So I eased my mind at some raids a little bit. There will be a couple of other Vorkath and Arma clips in this episode. It's actually not really filled with raids clips, even though that's what I spent most of my time doing. A lot of it was just time learning on how to actually do this in a solo fashion, rather than getting a bunch of uniques and making a lot of money. I did end up doing pretty well in terms of like getting my times down and being able to get a decent amount of points per raid, but I'm still not a master at it by any means. But practice makes perfect, and I am excited to do more raids in the future. For now, you won't see a full episode of raids, like I said, and I probably not even next episode will be like mostly raids by any means, or even, I don't know. I won't really plan on just camping raids for good for a while, but I do plan on upping the amount of raids that I've been doing. I would like to go back to them more often. They are very fun, even not even just in solos, excuse me. Solos are really enjoyable and very interesting. Any solo item is kind of a big deal, but either way, getting a lot of points in raids and trying to hopefully pull that T-bow or really anything other than an arcane would be nice for the PvM goals. So I took some time to practice. I will end up taking more time to practice and probably getting actual clips of like my strategy in there and whatnot. But overall right now, since I'm not really perfect at it, I just kind of compiled a few clips of me doing it. And of course, I will have a couple of clips for possible loots. Question mark? Maybe none. I'm not trying to spoil anything in this episode yet, right? Clearly, Ohm has been the biggest learning curve of anything inside the raids. Mage Hand's not too bad. Trying to 4-1 the melee hand is really not terrible once you start to get it down a little bit. Of course, practice makes perfect on anything. I think I already said it once in this voiceover, so I think you guys get it. More raids to come in the future. Overall, you probably will see a couple of crappy timed raids or like crappy point raids in this one, but getting better at it and hoping to see another one of those T-bow drops. It was very exciting, and apparently I got to get one in my name for this series, right? Alright, I've blabbed on about raids for almost like 3 minutes. My apologies. Let's get into some actual highlights of the video. I'm sure you're looking for raids highlights right away now that I've hyped it up enough, so here is some Vorkath. Dragon Bone Necklace! I got it! I didn't notice. I had no idea that the Dragon Bone Necklace was like the jar and the pet and the head, and it was a bonus drop. So I saw that I had 4 in there. Wow, I'm down to the Visage, which was kind of, in some ways, the worst case scenario at this point, because now I'm kind of guaranteed to only get 1 Skeletal Visage, unless I were to come back when I'm done with this boss. But we had to know that was happening. 2046 KC, I finally got one. This is a 1 in 1,000. Got it. 7 kill trip. I'm rewarded with a battle axe, which is not a bad drop. Didn't really, I guess I didn't think it was impossible, but didn't quite think it was possible. 7 kill trip. Like, I guess it can happen, obviously, but it probably won't happen again by the time I'm done with Vorkath. That's very uncommon. Alright, this could have been a lot worse with the mistakes that I made overall. Definitely a white light on that one. Hour 12, 16k. It's kind of a bummer. Let's try another one. Not that happy. Hey, my first solo Torn Prayer Scroll. Oh, look at the profit, everybody. Damn. Just got a Cave Kraken task, believe it or not. You may have been watching this whole time, so you already knew. I'm going to be buying the Sanguinesti staff for it, apparently. And I've never owned any Theater of Blood item up to this point, so what I just saw said 150 mil. Am I to believe it has gone up slightly when I go to buy this? I could try a couple times, I guess. Let's go right in the middle at 154 mil for a second while I go check OS Buddy Exchange. I don't end up using the Sanguinesti staff for that long, but it is a really dank staff. Testing it out at the Kraken, not totally necessary to use it there, but it makes the Kraken so ridiculously AFK, even though it already was. I'm a big fan, but I can't really afford to keep it right now. Why would I use my brand new Sanguinesti staff if I'm just going to get a Trident drop? It's clearly a sign that I'm supposed to use this Trident right now. Beautiful. Really hard to complain about a 1 mil drop, isn't it? Finish it up, man. Yes. 26k points. That's not my record. I've got 29.9k as a record, but 51 minutes. It's like my second fastest raid, and with that many points, might be my best raid. White light! Damn it! Ugh! But that was a pretty good raid. It's still my second torn prayer scroll. Come on, just be lucky, please. 25k points is like a 1 in 25 chance we get something. Oh! That's my third arcane. The only items I have in my name are arcane prayer scrolls. I don't know how to feel about that. Well, guys, I've got 3 mil for each of you. We are rich. We did it. That is my first item in a long time. Arcane prayer scroll. Alright. Alright, you know what? With 25k points, that's funny. That's kind of funny that we would get an arcane. Oh, could have been a dex. That's worth it. It's very worth it. We did it, guys. Congratulations on the split. I believe they're about 9 mil right now. Here's a quick clip of me going through the Vorkath tab when I finally decided to sell it. It was 1,234 kills in this tab. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am at everything but a skeletal visage from him, so I don't mind selling this off, using the money to work on some other things, and probably just coming back later to him. I was at a little over 400 kills when I decided to buy the crossbow and camp for a bit, so overall 1,800 or so kills in a row. Not necessarily just in a row. Had some Arma raids in there. I am a little burnt and ready to move on, but not a bad looking tab. With some of the money I got from selling my loot tab and a bunch of gear that I wouldn't need to do things like Arma, for instance, I want to buy a new shield for Arma. I've actually never owned an Ellie on not only this account, but really any account, so this is going to be very interesting. Let me try to get this bad boy to buy. So I ended up getting the Ellie for just under 520 mil, which is kind of nice. It's been remotely consistent between 500 and 550. So if I go to sell this thing and it happens to be a little bit more money than I bought it for, it would always be a nice bonus. But for now, it's my first time with an Ellie. I think I am mostly going to be taking it to Arma, eventually some Bandos, but I sold a decent amount of melee gear to help fund it. But I was able to keep my range gear, so a little bit of solo Arma would be kind of nice. I've only done solo Arma on task. I'm definitely just going to go try it off task. I never finished that Kraken task. I tested the staff for like an hour and moved on. Soloing Arma with an Ellie shouldn't be a surprise that it's a lot better than soloing it with the DFS. It still is really based on the fact that you get your armor pieces, mainly your chest plates and your chain skirts if you want to profit, but this really can be over 2 mil an hour. So kind of nice. It would be a little bit better on task, but I do think I'm going to camp a little bit more Arma. Clearly I've been going hard on this lately. I'd like to finish it up, but the pet can be pretty rare. So I'd like to at least see the helm and the chest plate at some point. But beggars can't be choosers, man. If I can make some money and try to buy back some of my gear at this point, I'd be very happy. And I wanted to douse you with this surprise. I've gotten a pretty good amount of rare things from Arma and from the minions, other than a chest plate from Arma. Bet you were expecting a chest plate from that minion. God Sword Shard, that was the final kill of my first trip with an LA too. Maybe it's a good sign to come? Oh! I think I've gotten one other rune sword from Arma, but I don't remember. You don't want to see rune swords, by the way. That is ugly. Oh! The God Sword Shards. I mean, it could be worse. It could be better, though. God Sword Shard's a little more rare than even a hilt, and pretty rare compared to an armor piece, and not nearly as expensive. But, I mean, it's more interesting than not getting anything at Arma, so I'll take it. Oh! Oh! Arma chain skirt. Oh, really good profit, don't get me wrong. Very happy to see this on the ground. In other words, it's not a chest plate either. Could have been a helm. A lot of people would say, hey, helm is only like 4 mil, it's better profit. This is my 4th chain skirt in this account now. 0 helms, and the only chest plate being from a minion, which doesn't check it off the PvM goals, but still makes good profit. I'll take it, though. That is a really sick drop, especially as a solo. Honestly, if it starts with Armadillo, I'm in. Armadillo? Uncut Sapphire? No! That's a rare drop table as fuck, bro. Why do you do that to me? That was rough. I'm so sorry, Phil Kermit. I feel like a dick now. That was fucking... That was rude as shit. What's the highest points you've seen someone legit get up to? I think you might be at it, my man. 64k. During the beta, which wasn't like unlegit by any means. Just people were, oh, Minion God Sword Shard 2? I mean, God Sword Shard 3. But I meant also, like, Uncut Sapphire, also Shard. That is such crap. Here's a look at 1000 Arma KC. I kind of like to move on to camping Bandos remotely soon, but I also want to see some progress on the PvM goals. So it's really difficult to make a decision on exactly how much Arma I'm killing. As you can see, I haven't only been doing solos, gotten some duos in with Satimo here, and also we had an Arma mass that you may have seen a clip from just about 30 seconds ago. So it hasn't only been solo Arma, but the solos have been a lot of fun, and in general, if I can keep making some good profit from it, I can't complain. Rune Kite Shield. Are you kidding me? I don't think I've ever gotten a rune. That is RDT, right? Like, I'm like 99% sure this is not on her drop table. Let's see what's inside. There's a lot of red and an ornament kit. Batch, I think you might be happy. This is the Torture ornament kit. Who brought up the Torture ornament kit earlier? 5 mil clue. At least on the really long ass clue, it gave me a good reward. I'll take that. This is going to be the final clip of the episode, everybody. Not insane progress in the PvM goals. I believe the only brand new item being the Dragon Bone necklace, but at least I knocked something off the goals. Definitely could be worse. And it looks like I'll be moving on from Vorkath and eventually Arma. Arma, you'll probably see some more clips next episode. Vorkath, you probably won't see for a little while. And raids are coming soon, so I like that. Also want to move on to Bandos, and I might as well talk about the reason that I'm fighting Brutal Black Dragons. I've been doing this as an AFK moneymaker while working on my hardcore. It really is like a mill an hour without having to pay any attention. I'll have a guide and whatnot on this probably very soon about how much profit you can make and how you should fight them and whatnot. But overall, I don't think you really see any clips from these unless I were to get a Visage. But I figured I would bring it up because the money making has been mostly about big drops from things like Arma and whatnot. But I've definitely been doing money making things on the side like this that if it's PvM related, I figured I could throw it in here even though there's not necessarily a goal for Brutal Blacks. That's going to wrap up this episode though, everybody. Thank you for watching episode 17 of The Road to PvM God, and I'll see you next time.